It took 10 attempts, 2 appearances in the finals, and a lot of practice leading up to it to finally win arguably the most prestigious event in Minecraft history, MC Championship. And if it weren't for one fatal flaw I made way back in 2019, I could have won it a whole lot sooner. But it's best to not dwell on the past. This story means a lot to me, and I'll be covering the brief history of the event, followed by my own story of improvement over time that ultimately led to this win, so if you're down to hear it, let's get into it. To briefly set the stage, I explained in my other MCC related video that MC Championship is an event that puts 40 creators across 10 teams to compete in a random arrangement of 9 different uniquely styled minigames. Now, MCC is not the only event of its kind to exist these days, as there's also Block Wars, Pandora's Box, MC Mayhem, MC Mania, among many others I'm sure, but MC Championship was the first one, in my opinion, to master the Minecraft minigame event format. When Minecraft exploded in popularity way back in 2019, this tweet from James Charles ultimately led to the formation of the weekly event known as Minecraft Monday, a $5,000 event that initially started as 10 rounds of Hunger Games, but in the following weeks evolved to include a bunch of other minigames as well, such as Find the Button, Dropper, TNT Run, Spleef, and more. Compared to the events of today, Minecraft Monday was really rough in its execution, but it laid the foundation for events that were yet to come. What I mean is that this was the first event that I can recall that would have you gain points for specific actions performed during each minigame, such as getting kills, completing specific challenges the fastest, clicking the most amount of buttons, whatever, and all of those points would be collectively added up to determine which player did best and which team would win the event. When Minecraft Monday ended in October of 2019, it left a void in a rapidly growing community that was prime for the taking. Little did anybody know at the time, behind the scenes, the widely popular map creation group known as Nox Crew were gearing up to absolutely change the Minecraft event space forever and always during its most explosive period of growth by introducing the event known as MC Championship. This is where I'll get into my story, but first, my childhood game sponsored this video, Old School RuneScape. Having played RuneScape for over 20 years, I can't recommend Old School RuneScape enough, as it's an extremely diverse MMO with hundreds of quests and literally thousands of hours of content, with a healthy amount of it being accessible for free, and there's no better time to get started thanks to their yearly event that's about to begin, Leagues 5 Raging Echoes. Leagues is all about amping up the base game with insane XP rates, huge loot boosts, and relic power-ups that are absolutely game-breaking. Whether you're a seasoned veteran or you're brand new to the game, Leagues really is RuneScape at its most fun. There's a reason they break records for concurrent players online during every single Leagues event. If you've been thinking about trying OSRS, there's a promotional Leagues membership package for new and returning players which covers the entire league, letting you blast your way through Leagues 5 without any long-term commitment. Hit the link in my description and pinned comment down below to learn more and try out Old School RuneScape today. To make something pretty clear, I'm not here to tell the history of MCC's games and previous events, aside from where it applies to this story, as we'd be here for hours, but I definitely have to shout out the effect that MCC has had, and how it brought together many of the biggest creators that Minecraft has ever known. Hundreds of thousands of viewers all gathered to watch the rising stars of the era compete in the most well-organized event. To even be invited to MCC is a privilege to aspire to as a creator, and this is where my story begins, for real. In August of 2019, I was invited to be a part of the first MCC. Ever since the Nox Crew game show in 2012, I've always supported what Nox Crew have done, but due to a scheduling error on my part, I was not able to participate in the first MCC. This didn't rule me out of future events or anything, but at the time, I didn't even realize that MCC was going to be a recurring event. Multiple months passed after MCC 1 without there being a second event. I would have been a part of MCC 2 and onwards if it weren't for this one crucial mistake that I think we can all learn from. At some point in early 2020, before MCC2 was announced, I left the MCC Players Discord when cleaning up which servers I was in. As far as I knew, this event had come and gone, and there was no need to be in the Discord anymore, which on its own was a pretty stupid choice, I know. Now, I probably could have tried to reason my way back in after MCC2 happened, but I just didn't for months. I really don't know why. And as such, if I were to try and join MCC again, I would have to wait in line like everybody else. And so, I did. I made my desire to join MCC known privately in May of 2021 and publicly in April of 2022 within this video, and finally in August of 2022, I got invited back for MCC 24. My respect for MCC has only evolved with time. It's an opportunity I wish I had been a part of sooner, but here we are, for a chance at the crown and at the coin. The physical coin that only MCC's winners can get. A real trophy for Minecraft's most prestigious event. I wanted one. But how much of that story between August of 2022 and today do I tell? Well, I'm not going to cover every game in depth, but I'll tell you a few stories along the way and explain what I need to. The first thing I want to talk about is, it took me 2 years to get that MCC win across 10 games, but when I joined MCC, wow, was I bad at Minecraft. I used to be known for being really good at PvP and the game itself, leading back to 2012 when I won the first YouTuber survival games, and sure, compared to everyone else in those events, I was alright. But I stopped giving effort to being skilled at the game when I switched to my post-commentary style of videos back in 2016. I knew a lot about the game, but I didn't participate in PvP much at all anymore. After years pass, that adds up. Not to mention that most of the participants were fully used to the intricacies of the 1.9 combat system, and I only had basic knowledge of attack cooldowns. Yikes! I knew I hadn't practiced a lot for this event, but I didn't think I was that out of practice. And that brings us to thing 2. What have I practiced the most since that event? Given that I've been very vocal about wanting to get better at PvP throughout the years, you would think that it's PvP, but it's not. PvP gets on my nerves in ways that I'm sure you can all relate to. In recent years, however, I've gravitated towards practicing anything and everything surrounding movement mechanics. At first, it was parkour, but that only helped so much. And then there was Ace Race, one of MCC's minigames, which I made an entire video about improving at. But what's really rocketed up my skill level in this year alone, without practicing PvP much at all, has been the Obstacles minigame on this server. I prefer Obstacles so much more than I ever preferred the truly challenging side of parkour. Parkour have some insanely difficult jumps, and sometimes when you're playing, that's just the way it is, no matter how much it might get on your nerves in the moment. But with Obstacles, it's just you and your ability to move and place blocks, get from one end to the other by navigating through 10 randomly assigned obstacles. The timer starts now, go. There's no opponent, and I only have to go as fast as I'm comfortable with. Over the course of less than 50 to 100 hours of just practicing this, I got way better at Minecraft. Winning an event like MCC is not the result of any one player, however. It's a team effort, and the team that we had for this MCC was, let's just say, busted. Shortly before team announcements, we had a player get subbed out who had not placed better than 20th, so in a sense, they were the balancing player for our team. Newcomer to the event, Ghosty Fruit ultimately replaced said person, and wow did that break our team balance. Without getting too deep into that story, which would honestly be worth its own video, Ghosty Fruit placed 8th in her first MCC. It would also be a crime if I didn't mention that she scored the clutch 1v2 in the deciding round of Dodgebolt to secure our team the win. Little did I know that she was actually the main character of my first MCC win. But hey, I'll take it. So, she placed 8th, Shadoon placed 3rd, I placed 13th, my best performance yet, and Sparkles placed 14th. We didn't have anybody perform poorly. We all played a key role. We won our first 4 minigames, had a 2,000 point lead going into halftime, and we nearly lost it after Game 7 in Meltdown, a PvP minigame wherein our team got pinched in basically every round. But the last game is one we all shared confidence in, and it's the one that I've actually improved at the most over time. So I want to talk about Sands of Time. Sands of Time is one of MCC's most iconic and unique minigames, and it's probably my favorite at this point. The premise is simple, but it is a lot to wrap your head around. If you want a detailed rundown, I can't recommend Picture Me Bliss's video enough. But in a nutshell, Sands of Time is a procedurally generated dungeon crawler wherein the goal is to escape with as many coins as possible before the timer in the center of the room reaches 0. You prevent the timer from reaching 0 by also finding and depositing sand that you find along the way, which each will add 10 seconds. Throughout this dungeon, there are 4 separate coin vaults, all of which require their own key to open. But due to how this game works, we only have to actually find 3 of those 4 vaults and 2 of those 4 keys. Connected off of the center room are 12 total paths. 2 of them contain parkour, 1 will immediately contain the green vault, and 1 will immediately contain a puzzle that unlocks the red key, and the blue key can be found underneath the water at spawn. That means alongside finding as many coins and as much sand as possible, we're also looking for the green and gold keys alongside the other 3 vaults. It's a strategy-heavy game that you really need to understand the rules of if you want to do well. And in my first MCC, I did not do well. I got distracted a lot, I had generally bad luck, and in general, I just didn't know what I was doing. I got locked in and netted 0 coins. The second time I played it, I died 3 times, got locked in, and netted 0 coins. From this point on, I did improve event to event, and I never got locked in to Sands of Time again. The reason I brought all of this up is solely because I wanted to talk about the turning point for maybe my entire MCC performance career, which happened in the middle of MCC 35. This was my 8th event and 7th time playing Sands of Time. Our team was in 2nd place by only 500 points going into Sands of Time, which means we needed to do well here. With 5 minutes left, after I got stuck for what felt like forever along my path, we had not found the green vault key, and I was the red vault runner and had not found it yet. If we didn't find at least one of those 2 vaults within the next 5 minutes, we would drop out of top 2 as a team and not make Dodgebolt. With only those 5 minutes left to go, I dropped off the 6 sand that I had found and somehow got a miracle run up the red path, found the green vault key, dropped it off, then quickly found the red vault and unlocked it. Our team opened 2 vaults in just the nick of time, and we ultimately made Dodgebolt. But we did not win the event. I was the last man standing in a 1v3 situation in the deciding round of Dodgebolt. I heard our teammate die, which I thought meant I would wind up with both arrows, but what happened instead is that he fell off of the platform. My assumption about the arrows was incorrect, and I took an arrow to the face. No hard feelings, Ollie. It was pretty funny. But that meant that the MCC win would have to wait just a little bit longer. About a year longer to be precise. MCC 35 happened on December 9th of 2023, and the next time I would make Dodgebolt was MCC Haunted Hoedown, and that happened on October 26th of 2024. All around, I played pretty well in this most recent MCC, and I probably would have placed inside of the top 10 if it were not for a disconnection issue that myself and Fire Breathman both ran into during Rocket Spleef Rush. But hey, what can you do? After 5 years of waiting and 2 years of actively trying, I finally got my MCC win. If you want to watch a live stream VOD wherein I reviewed this MCC specifically, I'll have it linked in the description down below on my Twitch page. It's about 2 hours long. On this Thanksgiving, I'm so thankful to have had this opportunity and happy that this story has met a happy ending. I hope you all enjoyed. My name is AntVenom, and I bid you all farewell. Thanks so much for watching.